Close your eyes. If you've never heard of SUPERTRAMP, close your eyes right now and just listen. Listen. Here we go. Here we go.
Goosebumps already.
Oh, playfully watching me. But then they sent me away, teach me how to be sensible.
Yeah.
Logical, oh, responsible, practical. And then they showed me a world where I could be so dependable. Oh, clinical, oh, intellectual, cynical. There are times when all the world's asleep, and questions run too deep for such a simple mind. Won't you please, please tell me what to learn? I know it sounds absurd, but please tell me who I am. I said, now what would you say? They'll be calling you a radical, a liberal, oh, fanatical criminal. Oh, won't you sign up your name? We'd like to be all acceptable, respectable, oh, presentable, or vegetable. Oh, tick, 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 yeah.
Wasn't expecting that.
But at night, oh, tick, 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 yeah. But at night.
Someone's gonna make me cry about this. So the part of the song that I know from, like, I think it's the 90s maybe, or early 2000s. It's reminded me of being a kid because I remember hearing it a lot as a kid. The only part that is sampled is the verse at the start, and it's the flow of that it's the same flow that's being used. Don't know if it's the same lyrics, couldn't tell you, but I know it's the same flow. It's making me want to cry. It's reminding me of being a kid, which is crazy because this original I have never heard. But isn't it crazy how just because it's got the same flow used, it's bringing back memories. Look, I've never listened to this, but it's bringing back memories of a time that just felt so easy and happy.
You know, like I said, man, when you guys really be like, you gotta do this, you gotta do this song. And then I do it and I'm like, okay. Like those songs y'all really, you know, be like, you gotta do this. Those are the songs that I hear a lot at work. Then this brother, I don't know his name, but he sounds like Geddy from Rush. Tell me he don't sound a little bit like Geddy from Rush.
My goodness, this song is a very catchy, especially the chorus. I really like the beginning of the song with that like shaking thingy and also the guitar making that like really cool noise. Also, I don't even know what it's called, but the song just keeps getting better and better the longer we go into it. And we're not even 2 minutes into the song yet, but for me, they hooked me right at the beginning and I was like, okay, I'm really digging this song. And then it just kept getting better and better and better the further we get into it. I'm enjoying the vibe. I also really like his voice. His voice is kind of reminding me a little bit of Geddy Lee from Rush. It has that higher pitch sort of tone to it, But yeah, I like it. I like the lyrics of this song. I'm liking the instrumentals. So far, so good. This is such a cool, catchy song. I'm loving it.
Hold on.
I wasn't expecting that, guys. That
No.
hit me like a train.
Caught me completely off guard. Wow. I'm talking like completely off guard.
Because he had hit us with some pretty heavy lyrics.
Like you cannot not pause it after that and talk about that section.
Because he had just hit us with some like really heavy lyrics, like this is what they're gonna call you if you don't become what you're supposed to be, blah blah blah. So I was like really listening hard, like really digging deep, and then they go
bam,
black, and almost knocked me out my chair.
I'm digging the whole vibe of this song. Like, again,
it's a vibe.
Like you don't say that a lot, so I'm super surprised. But
Rub it off on me.
But I think the horns right there is really what said. Like I was really digging like the tone and the sound of his voice. But that right there just amped it up even more.
Oh, man.
Let me rewind it just a little bit.
Oh, you might not want me to hear that solo again. That was incredible.
Get a little tickle right here. That's good.
Won't you please just tell me what we've learned? Please. I know it sounds absurd, but just please help me. Tell me who I am.
What is this transition?
Wow. It just sounds like they had a really good time making this.
But stop. That is the best SuperTramp I've ever heard in my life. The best SuperTramp song I've ever heard in my life. It's creepy now because I'm genuinely not meaning to find songs with these saxophones in. Like, I have a list, right, of songs. All songs that have been requested, all songs that people have told me to do, all songs that Jeff's told me to do, friends have told me to do, all this sort of stuff. I have a whole huge list of songs. And what I do is when I come to upload, I just pick some and go with it. There must be so many in here. Or it's just really like such a coincidence that I'm picking the ones that have this saxophone. But that's got to be the sexiest sounding saxophone I've ever heard. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like that saxophone was being played like an electric guitar. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, just how fast it was playing just reminds me of like somebody playing an electric guitar. This is even more proved my statement of SuperTramp's music is just so intricate, and just there's so much in it if you actually just sit and listen to everything that's going on. I couldn't even pick out loads of things at the time to tell you things I was hearing and listening to, because I didn't want to pause. Like that whole, I'm gonna say, last half of that song, it just felt like there was nowhere appropriate to click pause. So it was like, okay, you've just got to let the whole song ride out and just talk about it at the end and try to remember things to talk about. I think, yeah, with this song, it is like, I am so glad that I've actually had a music video to watch, because usually it's just an audio and it'll just have the picture. SuperTramp, to me, are one of the best bands to come out of the 70s. That's what I'm going to say. And I don't know, I still to this day don't know how big they truly were, but I think that they should have been huge, because the fucking music that they were making was just so, there was just so much to it. Like, it's not just your standard, you know, drums, electric guitar, bass guitar, lead singer, which a lot of these 70s and 80s songs, bands were. These have everything. Like, literally everything. You had the keyboard, the drums, the saxophone, lead singer, guitars, bass guitars, There's just so much going on with it. I think SuperTramp are fucking excellent, bruv.
SuperTramp, I love this band. I really do. And it's the fact that it's just so calming, soothing. You know, like I find peace in listening to it, if that makes any sense. Like I can just sit here, smile, and just feel the vibes. And, you know, from the clavinet to the guitar, to the sax, to the vocals, right? What else are they playing in there? Well, the drums, obviously. Everything's just so, like, you know, it's not too crazy. It's just nice, mellow, feel good, positive, get you in a good mental state type music, you know.
Could have kept going. I could have listened to that song for 20 minutes straight. That was awesome. The lead singer's voice is just a delight to listen to. And when that saxophone came in, who is this guy on this saxophone, man? I just witnessed a master at work, man. That caught me completely off guard. That was so awesome. The song was good before the saxophone came in, so that was just a cherry on top. And then they threw that whistle in there, and they threw some other sounds in there too. But man, this was an awesome performance. This song is brilliant. That's the only way to describe it. And also the lyrics on this song, he's talking about like how people who think outside the box, they gotta get like whipped back in shape, you know, by the, you know, cookie cutter thinkers. He's saying they had to send me off somewhere to teach me how to be logical and rational and basically normal and fit in and stuff like that. Man, this song was an overall masterpiece.
You know what? I feel like these lyrics, they talk about someone who started off young when life was so magical and wonderful and just simple. And then you grow up and you go to school and you're taught to be a certain way. You're taught to be a part of society, and you're taught to be practical, responsible, all these sorts of things. So I feel like the logical song and what they're trying to portray is life. I guess the routine that a lot of humans go through when they're growing up and when they're becoming an adult and all sorts of things. The words that they use in this are just, it's so cheeky and catchy at the same time. Miracle, beautiful, magical, liberal, fanatical, criminal, logical, responsible, practical, joyfully, playfully, watching me. Like all of these words, I just really love how poetic this song is in a way. It's easy to digest and it grabs your attention by all of the rhymes that are happening within the song. And it really grabs your attention with all the different words that they are using in the song to make it, especially when they all rhyme together. It's just, I don't know. It's just genius to me. I love it. Whoever wrote this song and whoever created this composition, I don't know if it is one member of the band or if it's all of them, but dang, a genius. This song, 4 minutes, but they were able to describe so much just within that short amount of time. They were able to say so much just within that short amount of time. It's actually incredible. There's so much substance behind this music and behind this song. And not only that, but it's dang catchy, man. Like I want to listen to it automatically all over again because I don't know. It's just a good song and they sing it so well. That lead singer, again, he gives me a little bit of an air of Rush, like of Geddy Lee, but not quite. He's not as high as Geddy Lee, but he still has that awesome falsetto that just, I don't know. It just, my ear just loves it. And I love at the end there, they say digital. It just seems like they knew where the world was going, the direction the world was going, even music. Everything is digital nowadays. Everything is in front of a screen. So dang, SuperTramp, they're like fortune tellers or something. They were ahead of their time for sure. This song sounds very modern. It's a very timeless, and yeah, I really like them a lot. This is only the second song I've listened to by them, but their talent is undeniable. And just the fact that they were able to incorporate so many different instruments and sounds into one song that is 4 minutes long is also equally as incredible as the lyrics. And how many members are there? There's about like 4 or 5, if I remember correctly. Dang, you had them singing and playing the keyboard at the same time, the drums, and then you had the saxophone, and then you had the little thingy, I don't know, whatever he was doing. I thought he was smoking a cigarette at first, but no, he had like a little kazoo looking thing. And then on top of that, it sounded like they also had a cowbell in it. I don't know. You guys can correct me in the comments, but dang, they are versatile. They are musicians. Like this is artistry and I'm here for it. I really enjoyed this.
It's an absolutely brilliant lyric. I understand exactly what he's talking about. The rhyme scheme is great and it really does cut through the BS, right? And it kind of transcends time, right? We all deal with trying to figure out who we are, what makes us tick. And especially as a young person, we may have, patience that is lacking as we are still working on that. One thing that strikes me, though, y'all, this is pretty close in time to when The Wall by Pink Floyd came out. I believe it was the same year. What year was this? This was 1979, wasn't it? Early 1979. March 1979. If I remember right, The Wall was late 1979, October, November, I think, of that same year. And the reason why I'm thinking of that, Pink Floyd and Supertramp are both from Britain. And so we have both Roger Hodgson and Roger Waters, writing these songs. I'm thinking Another Brick in the Wall, specifically, along with this one, that are directly criticizing the British educational system, and more specifically, the elite, education that they got, because they got sent away, right? As a teacher myself, who has built curriculum, that's not easy, friends. Building curriculum is tricky. I mean, you have to figure out what do you include, because whatever you include, it means that you're not including something else, It's like with this channel. Every time I choose to do a specific song or a specific band on a specific day, to a lot of people, that means that I have actively said no to all the other bands that are waiting in line. It's just part of the deal. What do you leave out? What do you include? And our biases tend to creep in. And in the end, the thing that I come back to is to try to just teach what I know. And then take on the responsibility of being as well-rounded and as well-read as I can be, so that I have a broad base of knowledge that I can be a teacher. If something comes up and you need to directly respond to something, or seize the moment to really do a life lesson, right? And that's really what I'm thinking about. I think we'd benefit, like with what Roger and Roger have been saying, I think here, is that we'd benefit from some of these life lessons in classes, in addition to our reading, our writing, our arithmetic, and all that sort of stuff. Sometimes we need time to just put everything together and learn more about what makes us tick after we've been exposed to all of these great ideas. If we just get, here's what happened here, and here's what happened here, and know this, and know this, and know this, and keep going, you never get a chance to process it and to understand how you react to it and understand it and incorporate it into your understanding of yourself and the world around you. So a little song called The Logical Song unlocks all of those thoughts for me. And that's really the great thing about music that is so wonderful like this.